So years 5 to 7 covers everything from Order of the Phoenix right up to the very end. It's the last 3 books or the last 4 films, and this is a great time in the Harry Potter world. This is where all the really cool stuff starts to happen. The films get a lot darker, and as a result we kind of get to have a lot of fun with that with the Lego version of the game. As the film's tone gets a lot darker, there's these great fights between people, so the fight at Malfoy Manor and kind of building up to the battle at the end. And as a result we wanted to include something that kind of matched that kind of gameplay and be able to have that experience. So we actually have dueling in the game now. So you'll see characters in the world who have like a magic circle around them. You can go up to them and challenge them to a wizarding duel. So you'll sit there, you'll be casting spells at each other. You can cast Protego, it's a blocking spell, you can duck out the way. And we also use the Priori Incantatem when the 2 spells combine, and to kind of like be able to push back. And it makes for these really great action, kind of cinematic feeling in this fighting. It's all very, very simple, but there's still kind of like a skill there involved, so you can get quite good at it and become better at it than you would previously, and kind of really play up on that combat side. We've listened to a lot of the feedback that people came with from the first game and saying what they liked and what they disliked. One of the things that people really enjoyed was the Hogwarts, this big expanse that you can explore that kind of unfolds in front of you. What we wanted to do is really make that much bigger. So now not only can you explore Hogwarts, but all the locations that are outside of that world as well. You can actually walk out the gates of Hogwarts into like a forest path. Walk down the path, you turn left, you end up in Hogsmeade, you turn right, you can jump on a train at Hogsmeade Station, takes you back to King's Cross, walk around King's Cross, out into a street in London, then walk to the Leaky Cauldron. It's a much bigger world. And then with the Deathly Hallows as well, there's all of this section that's set in this forest location, and we really wanted to include that as well. So all these different locations, loads to unlock, kind of like a really unfolding world that as you get these spells and abilities, just more and more that you can play with. We work really, really closely with kind of J.K. Rowling's agency and working with the brand. I mean, we've got some huge Harry Potter fans that work on the game, and it's such a great world to play in. So we use these spells that exist in the world, but kind of do the Lego versions of them and how they would work with the Lego universe. We've got things like Diffindo, which is a cutting spell. So what we have these big red brick walls made out of Lego. You go up to them, cast Diffindo on them, you can actually cut out a shape. The shape falls to pieces. You can then build that to help you solve a puzzle. And this ranges from things like you can build a feather duster right up to building a giant ride-on tractor and some really crazy Lego things. It's just a lot of fun that people have a lot of fun playing with. There's some great characters to get introduced, kind of Voldemort's effectively his crew, all of the Death Eaters, all the kind of darker characters are introduced here now. So we've got people like Bellatrix Lestrange, and she's a great character. The way she moves, the way she interacts with everything, the way she casts her spells, very reminiscent of the character within the film. And it was a lot of fun making that character. Also, there's like people like Fenrir Greyback, who's like a werewolf. So he can dig, and he's got special abilities as that, and it's just great fun to kind of play with these kind of it's kind of like the evil characters. It's always fun to be a bad guy from time to time. So there's some great kind of moments. We really kind of get to kind of cheese it up with a bit of some Lego fun with it.
Explore new locations and help Harry defeat Lord Voldemort and his dark forces. Lego Harry Potter, years 5 through 7.